Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about a move that's sparking a firestorm in Washington. Top Democratic lawmakers are demanding new documents from a big law firm, Skadden, ARPs, Slate, Maher and Flom, that struck a deal with President Trump's White House to avoid a massive executive order. The gratuitous $100 million in pro bono work cut by Skadden was designed to keep the Trump administration from dropping an executive order that could have crippled the firm's business. For context, the firm, known for high-profile cases and hefty billings, agreed to devote a quarter of its legal output to causes that the president prioritized. The government's operation was effectively a contract to stay on his good side. But the deal didn't end there. Trump's personal lawyer connected Skadden with the Commerce Department, opening doors for the firm to do additional legal work for the administration. Other firms, 8 more in all, reached similar agreements, while 4 fought such deals and won in court. Because now the Democrats want to see whether the government actually waived legal professional integrity for political advantage. Representative Jamie Raskin, the House Judiciary Committee's top Democrat and a key signatory of the letter, said, "We need to confront what a serious crisis this was, and is, in the legal profession of America. We've never seen anything like it before." In a formal letter, Raskin, Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut and Senator Adam Schiff of California asked Skadden to turn over a sundry of documents about the deal. They also want the firm to explain how it handled a situation where it advised Intel, a major chipmaker, while the Trump administration bought a 10% stake in the company. That gets into potential conflicts of interest, especially when the firm's pro bono client list overlaps the government's eyeball. It isn't clear whether Skadden will respond. The firm didn't comment on an initial request for a statement, and other Democrats calling on law firms for transparency have received little new information thus far. As it stands, the Democrats are in the minority and lack subpoena power. If they win back control of the House or Senate, that could change. Raskin and Blumenthal stressed that with subpoena power, they would force firms to disclose why they entered these kinds of agreements, what the specific obligations were, what work they performed for the Trump administration, and whether they chose not to take clients out of fear of retaliation. They also want the firm to explain any conflicts of interest that arose from the deals. Blumenthal singled out Brad Karp, the former chair of Paul Weiss, as someone he wants to compel to testify under oath. Karp, who was a champion of liberal causes, is the first law firm leader to cut a contract with Trump, and his leadership was pivotal in drawing Paul Weiss into the group's pool of pro bono services. The 8 other firms that followed suit granted $1 billion of free legal work. The bottom line, Democrats are demanding transparency to determine whether the legal profession was compromised. They're hoping to gather evidence that will sway policy debates around lobbying, conflict of interest, and the role of law firms in government. That's the overview. For now, we'll keep a lookout for Skadden's response and for any bipartisan debate that may follow. If you want to dive deeper, check the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and see you next week.